I'm prefacing this video with a video that I have recorded after, about a day after. And that is for Demetrious Johnson. Congratulations, Demetrious Johnson. 5'3", fighting at 125 and 35 pounds. 9-0 as an amateur, 1-0 in mixed rules, 25, 4, and 1 in MMA, and 15 and 2 in Jiu-Jitsu. He won championships in the two best organizations, the UFC at 125 pounds and one at 135 pounds. He would defend his belt 11 times in the UFC and once in one. He has the greatest submission in MMA history with the Mighty Bar. He used to primarily be a Twitch streamer, and now he uploads some of the best MMA and gaming content on YouTube. Congratulations to Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, and may we continue to see your progression in Jiu-Jitsu. Randy Couture is basically saying that we need to have champion versus champion matchups, and I am all about that. Specifically, I think he said UFC in one. I don't know if PFL was included. I wouldn't really. You could and should. Francis is over there, and he is about to fight Renan Fajeda. So maybe the competition over there might be worth it, but they also might be on steroids. 3 of 6 of Renan Fajeda's losses, or no contests at least, are technically losses to juiceheads. Fabricio Verdum being one of them. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about cross-promotional champion versus champion?
Oh, I already told you how I feel about that. I love it.
Like, in terms of, because I don't think the PFL has anything under 145. Do they? I don't believe they do. I think they do like 145 to essentially heavyweight. Funny enough, do they even have a? Let me go check this. It doesn't even look like they have a middleweight division. Really? I don't know. The PFL does it so weird. No, they don't have a. It's so weird. They have featherweight, heavyweight, light heavyweight, lightweight, welterweight, and women's featherweight. Yeah, they have some weird divisions, man. It's no wonder that they can't get off the ground. But we're just gonna ignore them. We'll start off with the obvious one: flyweights. We got Alexander
Ain't
Pantoja.
nobody touching. Ain't nobody touching. Ain't nobody touching Mighty Mouse.
Did you
And
see his black belt debut?
yes.
Dude, my man went far. He in spoiler alert, I'm saying it now. Spoiler alert, he doesn't win gold, but he has fun along the way. You know, it was very nice to see him console the one guy. That man was ready to be Yusuke Mishimu, or what the hell was that guy's name? The guy who committed seppuku. Famous actor. Dude was like 5'4". I don't know, fun facts, but either way, yeah, I think Demetrious Johnson gets that one done, and he's half retired. That's the craziest part. Like, it's crazy that he can really come back to the UFC and still be king. You know what I mean? I mean, who? That's a good question. Who would be, like, looking at the rankings? Who would be DJ's hardest test at flyweight at this point?
Nobody, bro.
Nobody. There's got to be at least
No.
one tough. I know Moreno. He's went through these wars, man. He lost to Pantoja, and he's probably never gonna be the same. But I think, yeah, you're right. I think Amir Albazi might pose some problems, but I don't think he'd win. I think he's a good prospect, and he has the talent to become a champion. But I don't know. He's gotta start putting it together just a little bit better. I think he's missing something. I think that missing something will be clearly evident in his next fight, or whenever he does decide to fight again. But yeah, then we have bantamweight. Who do we have for bantamweight in one? That's a good question. We have Fabricio Andrade, and it would be Sean O'Malley. Honestly, Yeah, Sean wins that one pretty easily and pretty convincingly. I'm not gonna lie. Like Fabricio Andrade is good. It's very good, but he did he did kind of struggle with John Lineker, and John is on the juice too. It's I don't know. It's different. John Lineker, he's the guy that T.J. Dillashaw beat back when they were both in the UFC, and John Lineker was kind of like the Josh Emmett of bantamweight, where this dude, you don't know if he's gonna get a title shot. He could, and he could do it just based off of the power that he has. He just swings battle axes at people's heads. It's craziness. Um, but yeah, what do you think about these divisions, man? How do you see one championship winning any champion versus champion matchups?
Do I see one championship? One, yeah. I'm telling you, you put the flyweight champions to fight. Demetrious Johnson is coming out as a man.
Yeah. The great thing that one does as well is they have kickboxing and Muay Thai. I love that they make
Hmm.
that distinction. You know, it's
Give me Rod Tang. Give me Rod Tang.
Rodtang.
That nigga's a beast.
Yeah,
He's a beast, bro.
he's crazy, man. Um, what's it called? Yeah, looking at one's champions. Oh my god, they have a list here. But actually, good question. What do their divisions actually kind of look like? Their divisions look interesting. Mikey, actually, speaking of that, we can talk about this right now. Mikey Musamaci just got stripped of his one flyweight submission grappling belt. Do you know why?
Mm, steroids?
No, not steroids.
Oh,
That man eats too much pasta. But he and it's interesting too. This isn't the first time that this has happened where he's actually missed weight or barely makes weight. You know what I mean? Um, he has a weird diet. I can't even say that it's like rigorous. He eats fucking pasta, like 7,000, 8,000 calories worth of pasta and pizza every night. But he got stripped because he missed weight and he was too dehydrated. Now, in the dehydration clause seems to be a good way to stop the crazy weight cutting because Mikey was forced to cut 35 pounds in a week because of opponent change. He was supposed to be fighting Cade Rotolo, but Cade decided that $1 million just felt too nice and he needed to go rest up at home. Like genuinely, I'm not even making fun of him. He wanted to heal his injuries, which, hey man, when you're scrapping for $1 million, I guess unless your name is Nicky Rod, you're not walking away unscathed. So he got stripped of his belt. It's unfortunate. It's kind of weird as well. I don't know why one even put him through that, considering he's one a champion of a division, and two one of the more recognizable names outside of people who follow Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Like you have Superlek, who's the flyweight kickboxing champion. You have Rodtang, who's the Muay Thai champion. Demetrious Johnson, who's MMA's champion. And that like what flyweight division, even if it's across three sports, is more prevalent? Like not even the UFC's flyweight division is this prevalent. You know what I mean? And maybe it's due to the fact that they have multiple combat sports going on, which brings more light to it. But actually, and grappling, they have four flyweight championship. Dana used to make this argument where he would say that nobody cared about the division. They're too small, or not even Dana would just say that. Anybody would just say they're too small and it's not enjoyable. But it's people who are at the most technical you could be because they are not constrained by gravity and long limbs. I don't know if you've seen Mikey's limbs, but dude's built like a honey badger. Um, but yeah, no. Looking at the champions for one, man, I would actually like to see a lot of transitions. Not gonna lie, there's a lot here, lot of talent here that, I mean, I wouldn't say I want everybody at the UFC, but the UFC really does give people the standard of like, oh, that really is the best. Even though one is comparable. They're just on the other side of the planet. They're comparable. UFC still just has that name brand value. And then we have Marabs staph infection. You see this?
I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly think you think he's scared.
I wouldn't say he's scared, but I mean, when you have a staph infection, man, it's gonna hamper your ability to fight. Not because the staph itself is, making you sick. It's because they're gonna put him on antibiotics, and they have to because it's transmittable. And dude, I know Marab has like two sets of lungs, but a staph infection, when you're on antibiotics, man, it's gonna sap your energy. So this might be a very telling sign that Sean is gonna probably knock Marab out. Honestly, I do see now with this coming out, I think Sean probably gets it done. I was riding with Marab, man. I really wanted to hope for Marab and pull through for him, but after seeing that, after I actually went back, going to sleep, some ASMR, I guess. I was watching the Henry Cejudo and Marab fight, and dude, it was competitive. It was competitive in the first round. The second round was a little less. It was starting to lean towards Marab, and then by the third round, it was all Marab. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, but dude, that left hook might be the thing that does Marab in. It's glaringly obvious that after every exchange, his right hand is down and that left hook is coming right over the top. You know what I mean? So I think Sean is smart enough to find that spot. Not only that, I think he's gonna take the approach of, if you're gonna die for my legs, I'm gonna knee you. Not only that, I can take the Aljamain Sterling approach and I can back up and snipe you. So Israel Adesanya and Nate Diaz. What's going on here? What do people have a death wish? Do they not understand what the term professional means? Like, do people think it's just a joke that people like it? You don't play fight, dude. You know. And Nate Diaz got into an altercation with a bouncer, and Israel Adesanya spit on a dude during a road rage incident. Can you call it road rage? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But either way, why would you antagonize a fighter? Jairo, would you ever antagonize a fighter?
Well, I wouldn't antagonize Izzy right now after losing his title shot.
No, yeah, man. That man lost to the to the wigger of Africa. So, yeah, I don't think he's super happy. But yeah, man, what is like, guys? Why are we picking fights? Either maybe they didn't know, and it'd be hard. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't know who either Nate Diaz or Israel Adesanya is. And if you really don't know who it is, God bless your soul if you ever decide to mess with them, But yeah, I feel like Nate Diaz is getting into a street fight. What, every 4 6 months, something like that. Man's got a quota to upkeep every year. And then Israel Adesanya, I mean, listen, it gives me the itch to want to like see, MMA fighters starch the just regular citizens that want to try their hand at combat, basically death. Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. You gotta, even if it wasn't Israel Adesanya, you gotta keep your emotions in check when you're driving, man. You can't have a road rage incident because, it could either be a fighter or it could be a guy with a gun. Either way, just, it's not that big a deal. Just let it go. But for the bouncer with Nate Diaz, I mean, the dude got mushed in the face. And Nate Diaz or not, if you mush me if you mush me, I'm gonna have to do something. That is extremely disrespectful. Like Jairo, if say who would be a good example? We'll give you we won't even give you a champion. We'll give you somebody like a Darren Elkins. You know, like imagine
Again,
A Jim Miller mushed you in the face. You know,
I mean, I would definitely have to keep my cool, but I honestly don't know who Jim Miller is. I'll probably try to punch him in the face.
God damn. All right, fine, fine, fine. I'll give you another one. Bobby Green mushes you in the face.
Yo, honestly, I'm sorry. Mama ain't raised no bitch, bro.
Um, listen. If Bobby Green mushes me, I'm gonna look at him and go like, "Did Jalen Turner not?" All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. By the way,
Nah, I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at him. I'm like, do you want me to go get Patty? Do you want
you
me to
want
go
me to
get
get
Patty?
Patty? Yo, don't make me get Patty. Oh man, dude. As a kid, that Kevin Hart joke used to kill me. Oh my god. Imagine seeing your father get beat up, and then this dude's telling you to go take out the trash. You're like, yo, what? You want me to go get whatever Roger, whoever it was, but call some dude who beat
And
his ass. That's fucked up. Um, what's it called? But yeah, last kind of point I want to talk about. I want to keep this video kind of short and sweet. We don't really have everybody today, but that's fine. Um, bare knuckle, like the skill level of that. And I'm not just talking about boxing. I'm talking about the MMA too. Jorge has his game bred fighting and everything. And honestly, it's interesting. I like bare knuckle. I really, really do. I don't. I guess maybe I'm numb to it, but it doesn't feel that brutal to me. Honestly, it could be more brutal at this point. Like I don't know. How do you feel about bare knuckle, MMA and boxing?
I like bare knuckle. It's like basically, I'm not gonna say it's boxing because it's different from the belts and everything. I mean, not from the belts, from the gloves and everything.
Mm.
But I feel like it's a little better, Obviously, you're gonna have to use some technique or something, but like if you get clocked in the face, you get clocked with like skin, like some rock solid boom, boom. Not just a glove hitting you right in your face. It's a whole hand hitting you. It's a fist.
It's a problem. I mean, look at Paulie Malignaggi and the goat Artem Lobov. You know what I mean? Like that fight kind of proved that, dude. Without those big gloves, I think boxers suffer from what jiu-jitsu players suffer from, and that is over. I th- Too much tacticality, too much game jujitsu. Like there's too much game boxing in a sense, and I think that's what bare knuckle is proving. Where you can block with your hand even if you open it up. It's not, it's not the best option. Head movement is clearly at this point in bare knuckle. Head movement is the best way to defend. And you could argue that for regular boxing as well, but at least keeping your hands up can make such a difference. You have some type of padding between your face and the other person's glove who's going to impact you with devious intentions. But I think bare knuckle can raise the skill level of MMA overall based on how real it actually is. There's zero protection. Like even just getting your wrist wrapped, it doesn't give you any protection necessarily. You know what I mean? Your hands are still gonna get broken. Your face is still gonna get cut up and fucked up. You're gonna bleed. You might lose a tooth, and you could do that in any combat sport. But man, the percentage is raised in bare knuckle. Uh, but I think bare knuckle has been a pioneer in terms of opening up the. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. Power slap is the pioneer of opening up more combat sports. No, I'm not going to talk about power slap, but other forms of MMA. I sent it to you guys, you and Hobbs. Medieval MMA. Did you see that? Did you see how
Bro,
crazy that is? I love it.
I was expecting like them to be doing like jujitsu moves with the armor on and everything. But nah, when I watched them, it's the funniest thing in the world with spears and swords and everything. These guys be going at it.
I think the thing that holds that back though is they're still fighting in a cage. Like, if you're gonna go the whole 9 yards, give these dudes weapons, put them in the Coliseum, man. Don't put a cage around. Put some sand down and let these boys rock. Even women, like, dude, Russia is crazy out there. You have all these oligarchs with billions of dollars just spending whatever it is that they want just for any kind of entertainment, man. They're like the Saudis, but brutal. Uh, but it's yeah, man. Bare knuckle really has been pioneering you know, the path for more outlets, different ways to fight, different ways to make money, and there might not be millions of dollars in medieval MMA or ice fights or gloves or no gloves or any other form. Even phone booth boxing. You have car jujitsu. You have, I mean, the list goes on and on. If we'll see, maybe I'll put a list on screen. Sorry if I'm too lazy, but
Don't people play like telephone booths too? Isn't that
yeah,
like a
that's what I just said.
competition?
They have telephone booth
Yeah.
boxing, car jujitsu. Like, you really can't just do anything, but it's like what I said, man. I want underground fights, man. I want secret underground Baki fights. I want Kengan Ashura businesses hire fighters to fight for them and their company for stake in equity and money and hoes and jewelry and cars and whatever. Just I want more gangster stuff, you know? Speaking of gangsters, Jorge's making a comeback, he said.
No way.
Yeah. He said he's probably going to fight in the UFC early 2025. He's already in discussions, baby. He's still signed with them. Who do you think he
Let
comes
him fight.
back and fights?
Let him fight Tony.
You're an asshole.
Why?
You're a bad person, you know that?
They both suck right now.
Hey, one. Anyway, back to Jorge. So
Yeah.
he's definitely not getting that Colby rematch. I'll tell you that right now. That will do what, 10 pay-per-view buys, if that. That'd be crazy. I don't know. Who do you think Jorge is gonna fight in his first fight back?
Nate Diaz.
Mmm. They just boxed. You think they're gonna do it? You think they're gonna do it in MMA again? It's a tough sell. I won't lie.
Jorge's gonna talk his shit. He gonna be like, "Nah, I'll piece you up in the UFC. I'll piece you the fuck up again."
Technically, they're 1-1. You could have the trilogy. You.
Bro, did you not see the boxing match? Did you end up seeing it? I'm telling you.
Yes, I did, and
Mm, Jorge won the fight, but the thing is that Jorge got tired, and then Nate Diaz boxed.
because that man can't stop eating McDonald's, bro. Like, he got. My man was looking a little Joey Diaz at one point, man. Slick back hair with a dag gut. I
He
don't know
was
what
still fucking him up.
I. He was landing way more of the power shots. I did end up seeing the fight. I do think Jorge won, and he suffered from what he used to suffer from in the UFC, where he lost to somebody like Ally Quinta, where it's like, dude, he won. It's crazy. I have no idea to this fucking day how they gave that fight to Al. I've watched it multiple times. I actually can't figure it out. I became a real estate agent in everything just to become more in tune with understanding Ally Quinta, and I just can't get it. I can't see how he won, but yeah, man, we're gonna see who Jorge's gonna end up fighting. Personally, he's gonna come back at 170 and fighting somebody in the top 15. You know who you could give him? Michael Page.
MVP?
Because I'm gonna be honest, MVP's a little older, man. He's 37 years old. He just fought what's that bitch's name? Ian Gary. I'm sorry. He just fought Ian Gary. And lost a fight that, I mean, Ian, no one will ever forget that disappointment of a fight. But he lost that, man, and he's ranked number 13.
And
I don't.
after that fight, what was it that the house said that Ian went on to talk shit saying, "Oh, I had him in these positions because that's where I wanted him."
No, no,
I
it's not.
want.
No, it's not. You had him in a prime position to get a heel hook, and you didn't even know what to do. You just stopped, let it go, punched you in the face a couple times, and then you guys kept transitioning on the ground. Eventually stood up, round ended, or whatever. Next round, you take him down, and whatever, man. Snooze fest. But yeah, I don't see Michael Page honestly going anywhere at this point. Like Stephen Thompson's number 9. You could do that fight. You know, that's not. It might end up being a boring fight. It might end up being a karate taekwondo technical masterpiece. Uh, but Leon Edwards is number 1. You're not having Jorge fight Leon. You can't have him fight Usman, Rachmanov, Madalena, Covington, Burns. He just lost to Gary. No, Sean Brady's fighting Stephen Thompson. You know what? Maybe you could do the Stephen Thompson 2 fight. Maybe. Maybe that's not such a bad idea. So, if it were up to me, at least from the rankings, not outside of the rankings, the rankings, I would have to say Jorge should fight Michael Page or Stephen Thompson. Give him a karate taekwondo guy. That's, that's what it's going to fall to. But we'll see. Also, sad news. Dustin announced that he will not be fighting Colby. He said, "I will never let that bitch make money off of me." And you know what? It's a good way of hiding the fact that you're gonna lose that fight, but still sounding tough. You know what I mean? Like it is
but
real.
doesn't
What?
but doesn't every fighter do that?
You got Bilal saying that Shavkat and Usman should fight each other now, which is that is laughable. Laughable. What are you doing? I thought you were supposed to be fighting already. I know he's a little injured. I don't know. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. But last point, going back to the Marab situation. If Marab has to pull out, what are we doing here? Like, who fills in for Marab? Because Umar said he's not going to be the backup fighter. He basically said he's too good for that. And Javs said that Habib probably told him, "Don't be a backup fighter because you want to fight on your terms. Don't fight on their terms." It's way too risky to fight Sean, who's had a full training camp against the guy who, fights relatively similar to you, relatively. Uh, you know what I mean? So, who do you give Sean if Marab has to pull out?
A funny one up there, but it's not funny because of the fighter. It's more funny because you know why?
Why?
It's because he's supposedly supposed to be retired. He came back and he's not doing so bad. He's fighting really well. And I say Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo.
Why not? Why not? Tell me
If
why
you're gonna
not.
give Khalil Roundtree a title shot off of failing a drug test and beating Anthony Smith, give Jose Aldo the title fight against Sean O'Malley. I like that.
Am I wrong though?
No, you're not wrong. That's honestly that I could get down with that. I like that. I can get jiggy with it. Like my
Thank you.
pick.
No,
Yeah, no, I
is
like
that
that.
is that the way I see it is that look, you gave, and I'm gonna keep on referencing this because it's true. You gave McGregor a shot after losing. You
Mm,
give you give okay, look, we're just gonna we're just gonna congratulations Bilal for being a champion. Um, he gave Bilal a chance to be, and then he fought Leon, and he beat Leon. What I'm just saying is that everybody that had a chance before, and then
mm,
and we're up there before, we're actually champions before,
yeah.
which is like Aldo. I would love to see him be champion again. Why not? Even though I don't think he's gonna beat Sean O'Malley. I'm just
Hmm.
saying, give him the opportunity. You know, you never know what could happen, and that could generate numbers as well.
It could. It could. He's not Mexican, but it's close. It's closer than anybody else in that main event so far. Uh, honestly, I like that pick. My personal picks probably would have been, and I know Corey Sandhagen just lost to Umar, but I would put Corey in because Umar already said no. Everybody wants to see the Sean versus Corey fight, and it's not like Corey did bad in his last fight. He did good. You just got to remember, Umar is also clearly world class level, and Corey put up a good fight, but he sat down and got complacent as he's kind of been showing. He's been showing that he gets complacent after the halfway point of the third round in his past like 3 fights. It's kind of crazy, but I think people would still be excited to see that. You could do the Henry Cejudo fight. I don't know why you would give him a title shot again, but at least he's Mexican, you know.
I'll give him Piotr Jan again.
You could I would have said Piotr Jan. He just beat Song Yadong, which is a very good win. Like Yadong is that guy. He's very good. He's clearly very good, but I would say Yun, but they're not gonna do that. It'd be a rematch. How do you really sell it? I mean, you could with the whole Sean didn't even beat him the first time and everything, but at this point we're like 10 days out from the Sphere. It's next week. It's not a lot of time to build up that storyline. You could, but it would have to start now. Like it would literally have to start at this very moment to gain enough traction where people are like, "Oh yeah, I do remember Sean didn't win that fight." I don't think anybody thought Sean won that fight. I didn't think Sean won that fight. Did you think Sean won that fight?
Bro, it's the Dana White privilege.
Dana White privilege. Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, short video, keeping it short and sweet. Not too much to talk about, just kind of specific things that were on our minds, and we just wanted to talk about them. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for champion versus champion matchups, or even not just champion versus champion matchups, just any kind of whatever division. Even though I know one in PFL just have it's wonky, dude. It's weird the way that they do things, but if you have cross promotion, who would you guys want to see? What do you guys think is the most entertaining combat sport outside of MMA so far? Is it kickboxing, Muay Thai, grappling, combat jiu-jitsu, medieval, MMA, power slap, car jiu-jitsu, truck boxing? Uh, there was another one that I saw where they were fighting like on a platform over a lake. I mean, we'll throw sambo and stuff in there. Yeah, anything sumo, whatever you guys think. But yeah, if you guys hate us, you guys know the drill. Continue to pester us. We've already gotten some hate mail. I'm framing it as we speak in this moment. And then eventually, once we get enough, detailed and creative hate mail, we'll do a video on it, reading everything, and make it fun. But Harry, you have any closing comments? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, if you don't like us, Shama.
Shama. All right, peace. So I just opened my phone, went to Instagram, and I immediately see Karate Combat versus One Championship, and President Awesome keeps the train of awesome going. All right, we were just talking about cross promotion. Every time this guy gets a whiff, a scent, a sight, whatever it might be, of what the next popular thing, the trending thing, the thing that people want to see, he hops right on it and he starts getting it done. Because it really can be as simple as that. What is really stopping any type of cross promotion besides someone calling the other one up, Chatri calling up Dana and being like, "Hey, are we gonna do this or not? You guys gonna keep acting like pussies and ducking us or what? What, you still mad about the old Pride days, about Rampage and Chuck Liddell? that still bother you, that's still, pressing your buttons. You have to go out all the way out of your way to buy Pride, and you ended up getting nothing for millions of dollars. Yeah, no. But it's really good to see that we're getting cross promotion. Although, and I will preface this for the future, we don't want a boxing situation to happen where we have the WBO and the WBA and the WBC and the HAO and the XIY, whatever. You know, it's good. Also, speaking of that, a point we ended up leaving out is how awesome is it that Sheik Turkey wants to make pay-per-views 15, $20. Now, don't get me wrong, 15 in terms of if you want to make your money back, so it seems, and actually generating the events, if it's going to be some type of for profit, $15 does seem to be a little on the low side, and it really is just to generate hype, I think. So I think a realistic number we're going to end up coming to is like $25, $30 with the intention of dropping it down to 20, which is probably what's going to happen, hopefully what's going to happen. But $15 might be a stretch. He already says that the Bivol card is going to be $15. So it definitely is going to seem like it's going to be a good tester. See if piracy is going to get lowered, if more people will buy it, and even if more people buy it, because you're reducing the price by $50, you need to have 4 or 5 times more people buying. And a lot of people watch combat sports, a lot of people stream these fights, and it's been estimated that millions of people are streaming. And if you can just convert that to pay-per-view, which it's can't even say it's a dying model, it's just the barrier to entry is heavily reliant on the fact that, oh great, another thing to pay for a one-time fee and cost. Like it's just not something that's very viable in this day and age where people don't really have money and they have to lower pay-per-view prices. But I like the streaming options. I like that Netflix is trying to get into the game to a certain degree. Take that with a grain of salt. It's great that the UFC is on ESPN. It's great that One Championship is on Amazon. But eventually we got to have some sort of collision. When is this all going to meet together? And it seems that the pioneers are these smaller promotions in Karate Combat and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship that want to get the ball rolling, dude. They want to see what people actually want and then provide that to them. So just wanted to interject this because I literally just saw it pop up on my phone and I wanted to talk about it. So now the video is done. All right, goodbye.